and then made you swear never to utter the name Noirtier. Yes. Why, you poor, short-sighted simpleton, can you not guess who this Noirtier was, whose very name he was so careful to keep concealed? This Noirtier was his father. Had a thunderbolt fallen at the feet of Dante, or hell opened up its yawning gulf before him, he could not have been more completely transfixed with horror than he was at the sound of these unexpected words. Starting up, he clasped his hands around his head as though to prevent his very brain from bursting, and he exclaimed, "His father?" "Yes, his father," replied the abbé. "His right name was Noirtier de Villefort." At this instant a bright light shot through the mind of Dante, and cleared up all that had been dark and obscure before. The change that had come over Villefort during the examination, the destruction of the letter, the exacted promise, and the almost supplicating tones of the magistrate, who seemed rather to implore mercy rather than to pronounce punishment, all returned with a stunning force to his memory. He cried out, and staggered against the wall like a drunken man. Then he hurried to the opening that led from the abbé's cell to his own, and said, "I must be alone, to think over all this." When he regained his dungeon, he threw himself on his bed, where the turnkey found him in the evening, sitting with fixed gaze and contracted features, dumb and motionless as a statue. During these hours of profound meditation, which to him seemed only minutes, he had formed a fearful resolution, and bound himself to its fulfillment by a solemn oath. Dante was at length roused from this reverie by the voice of Faria, who, having also been visited by his jailer, had come to invite his fellow sufferer to share his supper. The reputation of being out of his mind, though harmlessly and even amusingly so, had procured for the abbé unusual privileges. He was supplied with bread of a finer, whiter quality than the usual prison fare, and even regaled each Sunday with a small quantity of wine. Now this was a Sunday, and the abbé had come to ask his young companion to share the luxuries with him. Welcome to episode 200! We did it! We did 200 episodes in 200 days without missing one. Are you as behind as I am on the show? It is tricky to keep up with 200 episodes of a daily podcast. I have found a new method of recording where I am doing 3 or 4 episodes in a session 3 or 4 times a week. So I'm trying to keep up and get a little ahead of the curve so that I can continue to bring you episodes without missing a day, missing a beat, missing anything at all. It's a lot of work, and I appreciate you being here listening, celebrating these milestones like our 200th episode. And I can only do it through your contributions over at patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Just kidding. It's not the end of the chapter. I'm not going to hit you with all that now, but seriously, it does help. What do you think this solemn oath is that Dante has made? I have a suspicion. His mind reeling. I didn't even realize a couple episodes ago when I said that Dante is basically the emoji of the head exploding. That essentially is what happens to him here in text. What was it said? He clasps his hands around his head as though to prevent his very brain from bursting. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you, Dante. You are going through something, and you know what? Realizing shit is it's hard. Self-actualizing. It's a painful process, but you know what? It makes us better people in the end, depending on what the solemn oath is. I hope it's forgiveness. I hope it's healthy. I hope that you are going to make good choices in your life, Dante. I really want that for you. Please don't make life worse for yourself than what you are currently experiencing. Also, just a nice little ending here where the Faria is like, "Oh, I got a neighbor now, and we've opened the channel. So hey, come on over to my place. I'll make you some dinner with some non-moldy bread and some actual wine to dip it in. Maybe we're gonna have like a little Golden Girls moment. They're gonna bring out the cheesecake at the end of their conversation in the next episode. But speaking of having dinner and the solemn oath, do you think Dante trusts the Abbé at this point enough to tell him what it is, or are we going to learn of this solemn oath in secret? Is it just going to be something Dante keeps to himself? Is it going to be kept from us, the readers? I mean, Dumas has spent the entirety of this first portion with giving us, dramatic irony, giving us the information that Dante doesn't have. Is he now going to conceal information from us to allow Dante to make moves for himself? What a pivot that would be. Once again, the story just feels like it is opening up a little bit further now that we have broken with the scene of Dante meeting the Abbé, going to his place. Like that, as I said recently, that was 1 day for them. I mean, it was like a month and a half for us, but a day for them. Now we're speeding through time a little bit more. I mean, granted, just a couple hours as Dante is, reeling in his cell, but like, it feels like the story is now picking up. We had that pause where we needed to kind of reorient character dynamics internally and externally, and now we can start to move forward again. So I'm excited to see where the second half of Chapter 17 goes. Thank you all again for being here through 200 episodes. Here's to 200 more, and then 200 more after that, and then yet another 200 more, and then I think 200 mores. And then we'll be done with 4 years. So stay with me, because I don't want to do this alone. I am in a dark podcast studio all by myself right now. Come talk to me on Discord. You can find the link to it in today's show notes. Tell me how you have felt about the first 200 episodes. And we'll continue here with 201 tomorrow. You know where to find me. Okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.